Welcome back, all you Fabricant and Fleshbags, to the not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media, and that's movies, TV shows, video games. We do a little news and speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. I'm Ode Poupée, your resident Fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend LADI. LADI, what's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Feeling great. Was a little annoyed because I watched a terrible college football championship, but we're back on the nerd stuff, so get past the jockey stuff.
That's right. Anyone that's not in America, there was some sports ball played yesterday. Some home runs were kicked. Some field goals were grounded, and somebody won apparently. And more importantly, the Quantumania trailer dropped. So that was pretty dope. I don't know. I wasn't doing that. I was watching TV, editing videos. Lottie, would you believe it? I started watching something. You're going to be like, how have you never watched this? But I started watching the OG Justice League cartoon from back in I can't believe it, 20 years ago. Finally started watching it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I liked it. And also, I watched the first 10 minutes of the CW Stargirl show, and I'm actually kind of impressed by it. I think I got to go back and actually watch that show. At least the first 5 minutes is really really good. I think you get a kick out of it. Surprise, a CW show. Yes, even a CW DC show that actually looks like it might be awesome. So we'll see. Maybe that first 5 minutes was all the good out of it. But anyway, maybe we'll revisit that at some point. But either way, this is the Supercast. We're going to talk mostly about news today. And actually, I was looking at it. Seemed like a slow news week, but then there was a flurry of articles coming out about all these leaks and rumors and stuff going on over at Marvel. So I thought it would be a good idea if we just talk about all these things that are coming out of Marvel Studios. But before we get to that, we do have some news that we want to cover. It's some pretty cool stuff too. We're going to talk about a character from Spider-Verse that's going to be missing in Across the Spider-Verse. James Gunn lets loose about a new DC project. We're going to do the trash take of the week when we're talking about how the Restore the Snyderverse is kind of morphing into something new and just as stupid. We're going to review the Quantumania trailer and talk about the historic win for an actor for Marvel Studios at the Golden Globes. It's pretty cool. So all that plus a ton of rumors from Marvel Studios. So Lottie, you strapped in? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get to it, man. Lottie, we both want to see across the Spider-Verse, right? Just can't wait. 2023 as Across the Spider-Verse's year. But I have bad news for you, sir. Please just hold on to your seat. No Spider-Man Noir in Across the Spider-Verse. Is this a fumble? Before we even get into it, the specifics, Lottie, is this a fumble?
Yes. Some people will probably say, "Oh, you guys are overreacting." It's a fumble because they come on now. He was one of the best things about the original movie, and him. Honestly, I am shocked when you told me that. I was not, of all the people not coming back, he wasn't the one coming back. Is there licensing, or is just they're like, nah, we're good?
Who knows? That's the thing. Nicolas Cage was asked about it if he was coming back, and he said no. He seems like he'd be interested in coming back, but I guess they just didn't have him in the story or something. It also makes me wonder if, are we going to get I forget the Spider girl that with the robot? Are we getting her back?
Didn't we see her already in a trailer?
I can't remember. I could not remember. There were so many spider people flying across the screen. and I'm easily distracted, so it could very well have been. Could have been, but no Spider-Man Noir. That's kind of that sucks. That
That
sucks.
especially he's one of them. He's one of the more famous ones. You know what I mean? Like of all the ones not to have, he's of one of the more famous ones. Like
Yeah.
you don't like if you're just somewhat of a Spider-Man fan, people know Noir Spider-Man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's of that stature.
He's a Spider-Man that actually kills people, you know, and
Yeah.
it's part of his thing, and he has guns. But that is kind of weird, but you know, maybe just the story doesn't allow for it, or they didn't want to pay Nick Cage or something. I don't know. But I am going to be somewhat saddened that we're not going to get him because he was cool. He was a cool part of
Yeah.
the movie. So.
At least out of shape older Spider-Man still there. Like,
He
if he
is.
wasn't there, oh boy, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are at least getting him back. So, either way, well, you know, maybe they'll have something for him, and you know, there is a third one that is guaranteed to come out. The second one is part one of two, so maybe he'll be in the third one. We'll hope, and we'll let you guys know if we find out anything more. This is just a quick little thing. It may be much ado about nothing. But James Gunn he stays on Twitter, man. Did you notice that? He stays up on social media. I'm like, don't you have, I don't know, a job to do? You ever see people that just be at home in the middle of the day and you're just like, don't you have work to do or something? Don't you got someplace to be? And I sometimes feel that about James Gunn because he definitely does interact with fans and people asking questions on Twitter. And the other day he tweeted out like that about this busy day he had, and one little neat tidbit he had in there was that he said he wrote 1/3 of a new DC TV show that hasn't been announced. And I'm just like, you know what, James Gunn, you know what you're doing. You know he knows what he's doing. He's sitting up there teasing something that he's working on that hasn't been announced, and we know we're all waiting for something to be announced. So, LADI, I know there's zero information about this. There's absolutely nothing to go on. But what do you think it is?
In my house of pain. It's course. DC TV show that he has. It's Peacemaker.
Well, it's not. No, he already announced that. This is unannounced. An unannounced.
Oh.
So like you literally could grab anything out the bag and throw this at the wall, and it has as much chance of being true as anybody else's guess. So what's your guess?
It has to be something funny. He's going to pick someone funny. It's not going to be a Joker TV show. I don't think he'll do a live action Harley Quinn TV show. What would James? It has to be funny. James Gunn is going to pick something funny. What would he pick? I can't think. You go first, so maybe then I can start thinking of what it might be.
I'm of two minds about this. I think he might be going serious with it. If he's going serious with it, oh God, actually there's a bunch of stuff in there that would be dope. How about the Justice Society? How about the Justice Society? I would, if he's going serious. If he's going silly, I'm leaning. Well, he could do silly Justice Society also, but if he's going silly, I think maybe a spin-off of one of the characters from the Suicide Squad that was more comedic, or the first Suicide Squad.
I have one right now.
Okay.
And I know it's not going to happen, but I'm going to try to speak it into existence. Live action Freakazoid TV show. Give it to me. Give it to me. I know it may never happen. I know this is a Hail Mary of all Hail Marys. This is me on the 1 yard line with a bad arm, and I know it's not going to get to the end zone, but miracles can happen. I'm just throwing it out there, hoping that anybody can hear me. Maybe James Gunn is one of the few viewers that we have right now, and he's like, maybe. He probably heard our things of what we will want to see in DC, and he probably said, maybe I should dust off that old Freakazoid cartoon and see what I can do with it. Because I'm telling you right now,
Ooh.
I will be standing in attention every single episode if they do it.
Nice. How about Plastic Man? He's kind of funny. He's a funny dude. Or Animal Man would be cool. I'm saying plastic. I'm changing my thing, not Justice League. Plastic Man. That's who's gonna get one. Mr. Fantastic with all the jokes. There you go. Prove me wrong, James Gunn. So, anyway, it's exciting. Like this dude's. Did you see? The man's working hard right now. You know, you see, he's rocking the silver hair right now, which I think is partly dyed. That man's he's gonna look like Dumbledore in a few years. He's just gonna have the long white beard and everything, and the long hair. I'm telling you, as hard as he's working. So, either way, I'm sure we're gonna be getting an announcement very soon. So hopefully, he'll answer that question before the end of the month. It's time to talk, and we haven't done one of these in the new year, so it's time for the first trash take of the new year. Our trash take where we don't scour the internet. This generally just tends to wash up on our shore like an oil slick from a shoddy oil tanker that ran aground, offshore. It just tends to come up on our shore, and we just have to deal with the mess of these trash takes. Back again for in the championship round is the Snyder cult, the Snyderverse cult. LADI, they seem to be like most good cults are morphing into something else because what they were doing at first wasn't working, especially with James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over. The DC universe, and it's pretty clear that Zaslav has given them carte blanche to do whatever the hell they want, as long as they make money. And Zack Snyder is on the outs, like, no doubt, right? So I just saw this crap going on where they're starting to say hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix and hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix. LADI, I know this seems like on its face even stupider than restore the Snyderverse, or right? It seems even stupid, like just on its face. Like what when you see that does that make any sense to you?
There's so many memes that I could say to this right now. There's the SpongeBob meme of how many times I gotta teach you this lesson, old man? Mm-hmm. Or I can use the meme from The Godfather. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
The one I'm thinking of, the Bugs Bunny one where he just says no.
just die. Why won't you die? I mean, that's another meme.
That part in Austin Powers where he's just like, why won't you die?
I mean,
you know what? There is a semblance of rational thought in this little chain, this kind of pivot that they've done. There's like a little bit of rational thought in it, and it goes something like this. So Warner Brothers right now, WB Discovery, they are slashing production. They're cutting things. They're getting rid of, we saw, and at the end of this month, even some DC properties are no longer going to be streaming on HBO Max, but instead, the idea is to kind of, license them out to other streamers, for like Pluto TV, Tubi, or any other streamers that may want to pay them for the various bits of content. Not all of the content that's taken off of HBO Max is disappearing into the ether. Even there's like 4 DC animated things that are coming off, like Justice League Unlimited, and Batman Brave and the Bold, and they're gonna end up on one of these other streaming services. So that's the basis that right there, that's the basis of this idea that they can hashtag this into the existence. And the idea is that, well, if you guys are willing to, farm out your other DC content, then why not farm out the Snyderverse to, somebody else that's willing to pay the money to put up these programs? And by the way, it's not just the animated stuff. Other things like live action DC stuff that's not going to be on there. They're looking maybe to find another home for these things too. It's entirely possible. I think we even talked about this possibility. So that's their rationale, that since the Snyderverse is dead, they know it's dead as long as Safran and Gunn are in charge, then why not license Zack Snyder's Justice League, the movie, to be played on Netflix? And at the same time, just like whenever Netflix buys the rights to screen something like maybe Lucifer, why don't you let them make more content in that universe? That's the reasoning, LADI. Once again, where are they going wrong mentally?
First of all, why would DC have one of their competitors make a cinematic universe with their own IPs? What type of, you got to be retarded. That's like PlayStation letting they're like PlayStation say, hey, Xbox, you want God of War on Xbox? And by the way, you can make your own spin-off God of War games to challenge the God of War games we're making right now, and you can keep all the money. It sounds fucking retarded. Like it's getting to the point that I'm looking at, like, it's really getting to the point. The Snyder stands have gotten to the point that I'm looking at these tweets and the threads. People are like, yeah, guys, it's over with. Come on now. This just sounds dumb. Like, some people are going like, bro, it's not that deep. Let it go. Because it's at this point, it's just stupid. It just doesn't make sense. There's one thing letting somebody use a TV show that aired 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Justice League came out 20 years ago. Then giving someone an IP to make a rival cinematic universe with the characters that you're using now, like what type of rationale does that even have?
Well, you see, I told you there's a basis of rational thought. The problem is that you can start out with one rational thought, but you can start at point A and then end up at point Z, and point A can be perfectly reasonable, but B through Y are ridiculous, and that's the point where we're at. B through Y are ridiculous. There's in no way, shape, or form will Warner Brothers ever allow such a thing to happen. The Snyderverse is dead. Let's call it like it is. It's dead. It is not coming back. The best that Netflix can possibly get is a temporary exclusive license to Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, by the way, I think the Warner Brothers would be happy to do that, because it ain't making them no fucking money sitting on HBO Max. It's making them $0 on HBO Max. But if Netflix pays them to play it for a year, they make money, right? Get some of that money back that they foolishly wasted on that movie. So I could see, absolutely, that's possible. In fact, I also even say this. I encourage them to do that. Make some money back from that, 4-hour extravagance. But this whole idea that they're going to let them make Snyderverse movies out, that's of many, many fucking stupid things I've read on Twitter in the last few weeks. And there's a lot. There's a ton of dumb takes on Twitter. You know that. That is high. That's like in the top 10 of the stupidest things I've ever seen someone say on Twitter. Like, it's absolutely dumb. It's a trash take. And we're going to have to deal with it for like the next 17 years because these motherfuckers won't go away. No, they don't know how to take an L. You got a W.
It'll be 20,
go home
40.
with the W.
It'll be 2040, and they'll be telling their grandkids about The mythological Snyderverse.
I'm just like,
There
take
was a time when
it.
this existed.
Well, let me even say this. There is an angle that the Restore the Snyderverse people can take where they can get what they want, as long as they are okay with it not being a fucking movie, because movies are expensive as shit, right? Even
Yeah.
Shazam was $90 million. Who the fuck's got $90 million in their back pocket to make movies in a failed cinematic universe? Nobody. David Zaslav doesn't. He's not interested in selling that money out. Stop thinking about that. You know the way y'all can go if you really, really want to restore the Snyderverse. You want to see more shit going on in that thing. Go try to get them to make a fucking comic book out of it. That's get them to, if they can shit. You know, it's much less expensive to get an artist, a writer, letterers, colorists, inkers together and make Snyderverse shit. It's much cheaper to do that. And you can probably get DC Comics to be okay with it, because why the fuck not? It's not like they're going gangbusters over there. Right? Am I wrong about that? You can get it. But this movie and TV shit, y'all need to hang that up. That shit is dead. I'm like Killmonger. That challenge shit is dead. Yeah, it's over. Shit is over with, and accept it. So anyway, trash take. We I'm gonna guess in another month we're gonna be talking about Snyder Stan saying more dumb shit. So we'll let you guys know when they do. LADI, let's talk about the Quantumania trailer. It came on last night during the sports ball match that was going on in the United States, and I will say this: one, this is a sign of this. I think this is a sign of the fact that nerds continue to win, because in the middle of a football game, they're like, "Hey, y'all want to see some Marvel shit?" And plenty of people are like, "Oh yeah, let's see some new Marvel shit. Cool." So nerds, you're winning. Just so you know. But anyway, the trailer came out. It's a more, it's not a teaser or anything. It's a full trailer. And I watched it. You watched it. What'd you think, man?
Listen, I was not expecting Ant-Man to get epic. I'm like, wait, what's going on? What is this? Wait, Ant-Man is making a deal with the devil? Wait, hold on, wait, what? They're like, oh man, this dude can do all this. He said, I can give you one thing that nobody can give you, time. Hey, I'm just telling people this, real talk, the most valuable substance, the most valuable thing in the universe is time. And man, listen, the man is playing on the man's emotions. I mean, what man will not make that decision? I'm just saying, man.
He was like, it's that or I'll basically erase you and fuck you up. That's pretty
Yeah,
much. It's like, I can give you riches or I can destroy you. Which one do you want? I don't know.
yeah,
I'll take door number 2, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude, I went back and watched it a couple times, and I just want to say, I cannot believe we've reached the point. I think we talked about this previously about comic book movies, but I think we've finally reached the point where they can do the goofiest, weirdest, most out of the way characters that you think, why would you have that in live action? And they can do them, and it makes sense, and it kind of looks cool. And by that I mean they for real put big head ass MODOK in this fucking thing. Did you see that? Did you see?
Yeah.
For real? I thought it was going to be a robot. Nope, not a robot. A big headed dude in a rocket chair, in a floaty chair with tiny little hands and everything. They did that. I cannot believe we have gotten to the point where MODOK is a real thing in the MCU. I mean, let's take a minute to think about that. Like, for real. And everything else you said about, like, the trailer is great. For me as an MCU fan, a Marvel fan going far back, but an MCU fan from day one. That was great. I freaking loved it. I had actual like real emotional reaction to this trailer, not just because it was cool, but there was stuff going on in it that I was like, oh man, they're telling a real serious story here. And also, Jonathan Majors is fucking badass. Can we agree on that? Kang looks like a badass.
Yes. I'm not gonna lie. It's refreshing to see a villain muscular and imposing and she just walked up on him and I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like,
He
yeah, he
curb
looks.
stomp. Did you see him curb stomp?
Yeah.
This dude he's dead ass serious. Like they were talking about, he's supposed to be the new big bad, the new Thanos or whatever. And let me tell you, I believe it. Count me as a believer. That guy right there, he'll end you, and he ain't even thinking hard about it. He's just like that, and he's got time control and shit like that. Remember when He Who Remains said, "You think I'm bad? Wait till you see the ones that come after me." And I'm like, he wasn't lying. This Kang ain't playing. Oh, man, I'm fucking excited. I mean, I was anyway. I want to see it. I love Ant-Man, but this shit just went like through the roof for me. I don't know about you, but for me, it went through the roof.
Yeah.
So it's coming. Can you believe it's coming out in like 5 weeks? So if I'm looking at the calendar correctly, it's supposed to be on the 17th of February. So we're a little more than I know. Right, I'm saying we're a little more than a month away from this shit, and I'm hyped. I'm super hyped. Also, I'm not watching any more trailers. I don't care. They better not put no more TV spots. If there's another official trailer, fine, but no TV spots. I don't want to know anything else about this.
Sometimes, man, you watch that one trailer and you peace out because they'll start ruining the movie if you watch too many trailers.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's enough. I'm good, y'all. Stop selling me on it. I'm in the house. Like, I've already bought my tickets. I'm sitting in the seats. You don't have to keep trying to sell me on this movie. So, anyway, it looks great, and I can't wait. So, next month, and we'll talk about it more, of course, if we get more information. But definitely, we're going to be reviewing. So, you guys come back and check out that. Last bit of news, and the great bit of news. I love this news so much. This just came literally a couple hours ago. The Golden Globes were being held in Los Angeles, and Marvel finally getting some respect. They finally put some respect on the Marvel's name as far as acting is concerned, because Angela Bassett won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress for playing Queen Ramonda in Wakanda Forever, and which kind of puts her where most people are talking about, in the running for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Look, I got much to say about this, but LADI, the Queen won Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress, and Wakanda Forever was honored. And Marvel, finally they got a major acting award for the MCU. What do you think, man?
I mean, I'm gonna just say this. In my opinion, one of the best things in the movie was her performance. I mean, she everywhere she went in that movie, she captured everybody's attention. She did that. I mean, she did that. It's memed about Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is the best actress when it comes to being mad or sad. Like she is like the epitome of that. And I mean, she was out there talking about her son, her family being gone. Just wish, God, why did they give her? I didn't want it to be her swan song. You know what I mean? In the MCU. You know what I mean? I wish we could see her in another movie, but she did her thing in that movie.
Yeah, it would be great if she won the Oscar, because that's the real prize right there. Let's be fair, and that's the harder uphill climb also. because there's so much prejudice against comic book movies and stuff like that. It's the harder uphill climb, but I mean, this Golden Globe is nothing to sneeze at. Like that's a serious honor. And I listened to her acceptance speech, and she was prepared and everything, and she said some really cool things about Chadwick and the production team and everything like that. But the truth is, I love Angela Bassett. I've been a fan of hers since the '90s, honestly, since like the first time I really recognized that her ability back in the '90s, and perfectly cast as Queen Ramonda, and carried so much narrative weight narratively and emotionally, and was really the center of the she held the center of that movie, until she unfortunately was killed off. And at any scene, you're right, any scene she was in, she was the center of gravity in that scene, and just loved her performance, and well deserved, and just so happy for her. And also, good job, Marvel. That's the sort of thing that we need to see more of. We need to see that level of not just acting, but the material that allows actors of her caliber to really go hard, because they aren't just comic book movies anymore. They're modern day myths, and modern day myths are our true real culture and real literature and everything. And we need more of that. We need more serious roles like that coming out of Marvel and DC. So anyway, congratulations, and good on y'all, Marvel and Angela Bassett. So that's all of our news for this week. But maybe we missed something. Maybe you guys had something that we should be looking at, or you just had some ideas or thoughts about what we had to say. Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. All right, so it's time for it's got a rumor roundup. I called it in honor of a certain song that I like from the '80s. So look at all these rumors. They're surrounding us. These are really about Marvel. DC's kind of in a bit of a no news deal while they wait for the big announcement of the slate before the end of the month. So this is all about stuff that's swirling around about Marvel. And LADI, we're just gonna jump in because it's like a bunch of these. So first one is just straight out. Sadie Sink maybe is being looked at as being a part of the Thunderbolts, which is news to us because I thought they announced the Thunderbolts lineup like last summer. But LADI, are you familiar with Songbird?
Not at all.
Not surprising. If you had watched maybe Earth's Mightiest Hero, Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, if you had watched all of it, you may have seen her once or twice.
There are a few episodes I definitely missed.
If not that show, you really would have had to read the comics. But basically, she's a sonically power. She has like her superpower is she has her voice. She can fly with it. She got these special wings. She got these wings that
I
let
know
her
what that
fly
is.
and all that stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
This is, if there's an MCU hero of any, she is it.
you talk. Well, so you think Sadie Sink could be her, or you like?
No, I meant like the way she looks. This looks like there's some people in the Marvel comic books that just doesn't match what the MCU is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this of anything MCU, she looks it. You know what I
She
mean?
basically has mechanical wings that let her fly because of her voice. It uses her voice power and everything. I think it's more interesting, not because one, there's two parts of interest. One, we already saw the Thunderbolts lineup, and it was basically some super soldiers and one person that can phase, phase into things. And I mean, really not much, and not much in terms of a heavy hitter. But Songbird as maybe a late addition or something would be interesting. Also, she is a heavy hitter. um, on the other hand, Sadie Sink is, I mean, she's youngish. She plays a teenager um, in Stranger Things. And she's like 20, 21, something like that, 22. So she would definitely be, I mean, she's younger than Florence Pugh, who would, if, who's going to be running the team, but she would be younger than her. And she doesn't look like she'd be a peer to these people. But on the other hand, everyone really likes her. She's a good actor, and they need more young blood in the MCU anyway. So I don't think. Do you watch Stranger Things?
No.
Okay, so you don't even know you don't know who this is. Well,
Nope.
you don't even know who this is. Well, you know what? This will be an interesting pick, but I don't know that I buy this. I can believe that people are that I believe Kevin Feige is constantly talking to anybody who has any kind of real name or any sort of like acting, have shown any sort of range with acting. And Sadie Sink is definitely she's good. She's good. I've seen her in more than just Stranger Things, and she's actually probably another thing that got her on the radar is she's in The Whale with Brendan Fraser. So, which you probably have heard that he's getting Oscar buzz for his portrayal in that, but she stars opposite him. So I mean, I could see that, but we'll see. I'd say I don't believe this one, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Next one is that Miss Marvel and Moon Knight will get a season 2 before Avengers: Secret Wars comes out. And Secret, as last we checked, Secret Wars is slated to come out in 2025, but I doubt it. I'm beginning to doubt that's happening because they had 2 Avengers movies in the same year on the announcement. And we already know there's been some delays and switching up. Like Armor Wars is a movie now instead of being a TV show. So that's definitely going to, and Blade is being, who knows what's going on with Blade. That's definitely shifting stuff around. So Miss Marvel season 2 possibly before 2026 and Moon Knight season 2. So LADI, there's 2 things in there. One, there's season 2's coming at all. And 2, that they are meant to be pre-Secret Wars, so presumably that has something to do with the story. What do you think?
Honestly, man, it's so far in the future. I have no opinion. I mean, what's the point of even announcing it? That's 3 years in the future. I have no opinion. I don't know what to feel. It will be 4 years, because you think about it. That'll be 4 years.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what.
It just said all it said was before. We don't even know what the TV shows that are coming out in 25 are.
Exactly. So I'm like, why? What was even maybe just to say, hey,
yeah,
we haven't forgot about it.
I must say this is the rumor. These are insiders saying like those 2 that both of them are getting season 2. Like, does it surprise you if it's true that Moon Knight is getting a season 2?
No. It was a successful show. I'm surprised that it's going to take 3 years to make it. That's all. I'm like, what? Like I said, I have no I'm happy because it's a good show. Of course, it was one of the best well received not just MCU shows, just comic book shows in 2022. But I mean, come on, man.
Well, maybe 2 years from now because it's 2023, so maybe 2025.
That's still. We're not in a pandemic, too. I mean,
well,
man.
This is and Miss Marvel. Hey, look, the way you feel that about Moon Knight, that's the way I feel about Miss Marvel because I'm kind of like I'm not upset. I'm just like, why? Why would you keep Miss Marvel away from her? I understand she's going to be in a movie, in the middle of this year, or in the summer. But still, I gotta wait until 2025 to see Miss Marvel again. I don't like that. So I want this to be true, but also I want it to be true faster. How about that? let's get it done faster than that.
At least you'll see Miss Marvel again, man. I won't see Moon Knight for what? God. Jeez.
Well, well, let's keep an eye out. We're gonna keep an eye out on that one. I tend to think that this is probably true. Related to that, and probably why we won't see these things until 2025. There's a rumor that What If season 2, Echo and Agatha, Coven of Chaos, are going to be delayed. Which, by the way, of all of those, Agatha hadn't. I don't even think Agatha has started filming yet. So I totally believe that. Like we already saw that there's only 3 official MCU Disney Plus shows on the slate for this year anyway, and none of those are on that list. Was Echo maybe on the list? I think Echo was on the list.
Mhm.
But we heard about the problems with Echo going on. But the other 2 weren't even on the list for this year. So, is this in any way is that like this rumor any kind of surprise really? Is my question.
A rumor?
Yeah, is it any surprise at all?
No, I mean we heard that they were gonna start, cutting back because me and you talked about it like 2022. They were biting off way too much than they could chew. It's good to see that they're. I won't say it's good, but I'm happy to see that they're cutting down their workload instead of trying to push out, 10 to 8 to 10 projects a year. More give us 2 movies and 3 TV shows. 5. That's it. That's
Well,
good
I'll,
enough.
I'll say I'll say 3 movies and 3 shows a year, and
Yeah.
that's literally. So you're talking about so 2 months between everything, 2 months between projects. There you
Yeah.
go. That's a good release strategy. Like, but one thing that kind of I'm concerned about is with a little more into this rumor is that the rumor person was saying that that Agatha Coven of Chaos might not even come out until after Daredevil Born Again in 2025. So you're talking about 2 good years from now. No, don't. Why? Why would you do? Yeah, like you literally, announced this last year. So you're talking about, you know, 3 good years until these things actually happen. Come on. But on the other hand, I was just saying 3 and 3 would be a good release strategy. So I mean, it's kind of. I think maybe it's for the best. And also, I do think that this is probably true. And I hate that for What If Season 2 because, as I understand it, it's pretty much in the bag. They just need to finish, they just need to put it out. So it does kind of bug me that one is getting, could potentially get delayed. But we'll see. We will see. I feel certain that in the next 3 or 4 months, we're going to get concrete news about those. How about some casting rumors? There's a bunch of these. This is the major one. Adam Driver is being looked at for being Mr. Fantastic. Adam Driver, of course, being Kylo Ren from the new Star Wars movies, and among other things. The guy, I mean, he's been in a bunch of other things too. But so Adam Driver as Mr. Fantastic, I will say, wasn't the name I was thinking of. Wasn't I did not have him like even on the list of people to be Mr. Fantastic, but I do know that guy can act his ass off, and he's quite a presence on screen. And he's recently, if you go look on Netflix right now, he kind of plays a kind of a weird, nerdy professor. Excuse me, professor type in a movie. So he literally could just do this, and you could forget about him. His other roles. He has the capacity to kind of play that role, in my opinion. Does he look like what we think Reed Richards looks like? I mean, probably not, but like, I don't think they could frost his freaking the side of his hair and move on. You know. So, Lottie, I don't know how familiar you are with Adam Driver's work, but you see this. What do you think?
I know him well, but I feel like this they casted him for the wrong role. They're casting him for the wrong role. He should be Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I hear that, but man, if I were Adam Driver, I'd be like, hell to the no. I no, I just played a dude that put a fucking mask on and terrorized people. I'm not doing that shit again for three more fucking years. I mean, not 3 years, three more fucking movies. No, I'm not doing that. Not you're not hiding this beautiful face behind a mask again. Uh, I would if I were him, I would fight against that tooth and nail. You've already done your fake Darth Vader. Don't do that shit again. You know.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
and
That's
also
true.
and also, like I said, this dude. Yeah, I know it seems like he has a type, but I guarantee you he doesn't. I'm telling you, this dude's range is significant. And I now once how about this? Once I heard that, I was like, I thought about it for I was like, what? And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, actually that might be kind of genius. That might be kind of genius though. Uh so I'm 50-50 on this. To be perfectly honest, there are a lot of people who are, whose names have been sort of put out there for this. And a lot of them are just because people think they look right. To which I say, fuck that noise. Fuck the look right thing. Anyone can be fucking made up to look like Mr. Fantastic. The question is, do they get the talent? And somehow I feel like Adam Driver, he could kill it, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see. We'll let you guys know if we hear anything on that front. We also have this is real quick, mostly because I don't care about this, but we're in the multiverse saga and there's all sorts of possibilities. And this is kind of twofold. Liv Tyler is rumored to be returning to the MCU as Betty Ross for a World War Hulk something. Not a. Let me just say, not a movie. Just get that shit out at anybody's head. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be a movie. Because Disney's not gonna make a Hulk movie that they're not gonna distribute themselves. They're not gonna, let Universal distribute an MCU movie. So it's not gonna be a fucking movie. But World War Hulk. So, Lottie, do you believe that is even going to actually be a World War Hulk thing? And two,
No,
Betty Ross coming back to the MCU. Do you,
I don't believe anything with the Hulk in it at all. Because it's
unless it's
been,
She-Hulk.
I just don't believe it because it's been what? It's about to be 15. It's been 15 years because Incredible Hulk came out in 2008. I don't believe anything dealing with the Hulk. I have to see it to believe it. I just don't believe it. Like if someone says, "Hey man, I'm telling you, Kevin Feige said it himself. They're making a Hulk movie." When the trailer comes out, I'll believe it. But the trailer's out.
And even then,
When it comes into the theaters, I'll believe it. I
well,
don't believe it.
But Lottie, here's my tickets for it. I won't believe it until I see the credits roll on this bitch. The credits are rolling. I don't think that was an actual Incredible Hulk movie.
I don't. I've been speculating this for so long, man. I just don't believe it.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that. I don't believe that World War Hulk is a thing. If for no other reason, where the fuck is it coming from? Like, yeah, they brought Scar back from Sakaar or whatever, but seriously, where is it? I just want to know. Yes, there's room for it in the MCU. I just trying to figure out what's the genesis of it, because I know what it is in the comics, and there's zero genesis for it in the MCU. So it would just be something that's not the actual story that I'm familiar with. And maybe it'd be good or anything, but once again, how do they distribute it? Because it can't be a movie. It just can't be a movie. So it's an MCU show, so they're gonna spend a ton of money. Like, they bitched about spending that money on She-Hulk, and mind you, they kept her off of the screen as much as they could, and even then, people bitched about it. So you think they're gonna do that for 6 episodes, where the Hulk has to beat the shit out of people? Mm, doesn't sound real to me. So sounds fake. Uh, we'll see. We'll see if there's any information about that. But don't hold your breath on that. Another series, potential series that we heard this rumor late last year about a potential Vision Quest series starring White Vision, or Caucasian American Vision, or whatever you want to call it.
Caucasian Vision.
Caucasian Vision.
White Vision.
White Vision.
Oh,
No, actually, White Vision is in, he's not gray, like he's dead, but he's, and he's still running around, and he's all AI. He's all AI. No Soul Stone. But that the rumor is that the Vision Quest series finally sets up the Young Avengers. I want this to be true. And it makes sense within the context of the comics universe. It would make some sense. Just because Tommy and Billy are the children of Wanda and Vision. Yes, they're fake. Yes, they are fake we know that from WandaVision and from Multiverse of Madness, that they are not real, except in some alternate universe. But we also know that in the comics, Vision, he lost his humanity or whatever, and then came back as a robot. But the kids were still around, and he sort of acknowledged them, so forth, so on. So there's a precedence for this, in other words. And this would actually also be a place where it makes sense for Tommy and Billy to sort of somehow make it into the MCU properly. So, LADI, it's just very simple. Is any of this real?
I mean, no. I mean, White Vision, Caucasian Vision, privileged Vision is just sitting out there, just hanging out in the
Did you say
ether.
white privilege Vision? Oh, God. Whew.
He's just sitting out there in the ether, just, hey, let's make a team.
Let me say, white privilege Vision, he certainly ran out on his child support. So,
Yeah, I mean, when his crazy ass wife was going around destroying stuff, he's just like, nah,
like,
I'm gonna stay back here.
Like, I'm glad I got that divorce. So.
I mean, and now all of a sudden he wants to start a team. Nah,
sounds fake.
It sounds fake. Hey Hulk. Hey Hulk, let me borrow your son. For what? I wanted to start a team.
And I mean, it's true. Scar is on planet. There's Kate Bishop is around. Billy and what's this, Tommy, or I guess somewhere in the multiverse. I mean, yeah, but no. Just no.
So you telling me he's able to do something that even his wife couldn't do? Just hop into the multiverse and say, "Hey, I'm your Caucasian dad from another universe."
I'm your white robot dad from another universe.
Come join my team. What?
Oh, okay. No. How about no, Scott? All right, we got one more. We got one more here. This is about more release date stuff. This last bit. So the rumor is that there's going to be a Doctor Strange 3, and that it and Kang Dynasty and the Eternals, a sequel to the Eternals, are all going to come out in 2026. So this is more release date shuffling plus announcement of some future projects. LADI, I mean, I'll say this. Doctor Strange 3 sounds real to me. If for no other reason, because that Doctor Strange 2 almost made $1 billion.
Yeah,
That ain't
yeah.
no small money. That's more than enough to be like, look, let's do this again. There is a rumor attached to it also that Scott Derrickson, the director of the first one, would be coming back for that one, because he did not make the second one. And so I think I can believe that. Kang Dynasty getting moved to 2026 makes all the sense to me, because there's a ton of shuffling going on right now. Anyway, even though Kang Dynasty is supposed to be coming before the Avengers, Avengers Secret Wars. So that would mean Secret Wars would get pushed back into 2026 or probably 2027, which, why? And finally, the Eternal sequel that I would like to see, but I'm not so sure too many other people are looking forward to. So, all that, what do you think?
They're gonna have to circle the wagons on Eternals, Eternal sequel, man. I mean, they're gonna have to circle the wagons on that movie.
Well, hold on. Let's give some kind of context to this. And when we found out that one of the top streamed movies on Disney Plus in America was Eternals, and it was in the top 10 movies streamed on the service last year, that's not nothing. And also, it was in the top 10 in the world too, as far as I understand, but definitely in America. So there is some interest, at least from some people, about that movie. So it's not completely crazy, but yeah, I mean, you'd have to make a real good case for it, and also bring down the price of that movie to make it
And
make
then, yeah,
sense.
and it cut down an hour from that damn movie. Cut a whole fat hour. Like I said, they're gonna have to circle the wagons. Like there's something there. There's something there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But boy, whatever strategy they used to make that movie, you gotta rethink that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think they could tighten it up, but it's interesting enough. But the other two, you think those are reasonable?
Boy, King Dynasty being in 2026, and godly,
It's literally 3 years from now.
and that means we might not get what's it called until 2027.
Yeah. Well, but see, I've already been thinking that 2 Avengers movies in 1 year made no sense to me. That I did not believe that. Even when I saw it up there and Kevin Feige was standing in front of it and like, look what we're gonna do, I was like, that shit's not happening. One of the that Secret Wars, that bitch is moving next year. Cause like, why would y'all do that? Why would y'all waste the money? Throw away the money that you get from waiting a year and letting that thing marinate. So I was already up the mind about that anyway. I feel like moving Kang so far away from Ant-Man is a weird thing, even though Kang is definitely going to be in Loki season 2.
Yeah.
And
3 years later.
Yeah, and also the fact that I've heard that Kang's going to be popping up like Thanos and other things too. Maybe not as a main villain, and maybe just a cameo or something like that, but he's going to be popping up. But I still say that's a long way away from Ant-Man. Ant-Man had better fucking floor us. It had better make $1 billion. It's the only way I can believe that anyone's going to remember Kang, because not everyone has Disney Plus and not everyone watches, Loki. So it's cool he's going to be in it, but he needs to be in a movie. So for us to remember, exactly why he is who he is. So, I mean, I'll believe it if they do move it to 2026, just because there's a shit ton of stuff moving around right now, because of production and retooling and whatever. But I hope they don't do that. I hope they keep it in 2025. Honestly.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually a believable. I think that's a believable rumor. I just think the Eternals one is the least plausible of all of it. So I don't know. We will see. So anyway, look, y'all, look at all those rumors that we rolled through. That's a bunch of stuff. Like, all of it, I would say this much: all of those rumors point to good. I think these are good things for the MCU. It's growing. It's dynamic right now. They're playing around in a bunch of different. The sandbox that they're playing around in has a bunch of different pieces and characters, and they're clearly doing all sorts of stories and everything like that. And it kind of promises that we're getting a ton of stuff for the next 4 or 5 years. We are definitely getting a lot of cool stuff. And even if
Yep.
half of these things are not true, even if half of this stuff isn't true, the half that is true is going to be cool. So, as usual, the MCU showing how it's done. So, anyway, those are our thoughts on all those rumors. What you guys think about these rumors? Have y'all heard them? Have you come across any more rumors, or you just have something to say about our thoughts? Get down to the comment section. Leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And do us a favor, get down there, hit the like button on this video, and subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of that interaction with this video helps the algorithm so more people can see these videos and help grow this channel. And of course, I can't do this Supercast by myself. I need LADI and his good insight and general knowledge of comic books to help me out. So LADI, where can they reach you on social media?
Oh yeah, you can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. It's spelled ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN, and of course my Twitter, which is Kinihun25. My YouTube channel, I meant, is Kinihun25. I'm dedicated myself to uploading more content, so keep an eye out for that. Leave a comment, a subscribe, or a follow if you feel so kind enough.
Absolutely, yeah. Y'all go show LADI some love. We're doing all of this, all this stuff just for the love of all these things that we watch and play and everything. It's fun stuff. It's fun time being a nerd right now, man. So anyway, this has been episode 84 of the Supercast. Come back next week. We have got plenty more to talk about because this train keeps on rolling, and we love talking about superhero things. So come back and join us. Until then, I've been Mo de Poupe, resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend LADI. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.